All right, so welcome everyone to our release 2 feature and showcase. So we have quite a few things to get through today. As always, we'll kind of go through everything high level. If you have any questions, please try to save them for the end, and we encourage you to put your hand up. Again, meeting etiquette, we ask that you mute yourselves just to minimize any background noise. So as always, for any of our releases, our procedure is always that we deploy to your sandbox first, give you the time to go in and test. Once you have your approval, we'll deploy to your production environment. So again, once you're done reviewing, if you want this deployed to your sandbox, reach out to your account manager for that. So we have 25 new features coming in this release. So we're going to go through those first, and then we'll talk on some of the bug fixes at the end. So the first one we want to bring your attention to is Mango. This is our new communications app. So it gives you the option to send emails to basically everyone within your organization or segmented based on specific criteria. So things like programs and instances, memberships and membership types, as well as group management. So I'm just going to walk us through what this looks like in your environment. So you'll see you have the Mango app now. You'll be able to search that just in the app launcher. It'll be the Mango tab. And then you have the option to pick the type of email you want to send. So are we sending to people within your organization? Are we sending based on programs or instances? Based on membership, based on group management, or based on facilities? So we'll do program and instance. You then also have the option of whether you're going to send it to the primary contact or the contact of the instance. So there may be occurrences where you're sending something to camp and you want it to go to the parent instead of the child. So you can select the primary contact for that. We do also have a custom setting that lets you control the age of the contact as well, where it'll default to the primary or not send if they're under a certain age limit. So that's what I'm going to pick. I'm then going to search for the program and instance that I want to send. And again, this looks pretty similar to how the membership or facility or any of the other flows will work. We're just going to high level go through the program and instance one so you get an idea of what this looks like. So then we'll go next. We've selected 2 instances. You do have the access to your classic email templates and email templates that are stored in Salesforce here. So you can pull those through. So we'll grab our camp reminder one. You can also add merge fields and objects if you wanted to type out that email and not use a template. That is an option as well. So if you need to send something quick, like your power's out or there's been an accident in the pool, you can use this tool to send that out to your members. So then I do see a preview here as well. I'm going to hit next. And then I can schedule the email to be sent at a certain time, or I can send it now. You will see all the available contacts that this is going to be sent out to, as well as you are able to choose which org-wide sender you are sending the email from. So if you want this to come from camps at your organization or it needs to come from programs, you have that option as long as those are verified org-wide emails in your environment. So we're just going to use our one. We would select both. We do have an acknowledgement that this is meant to be for communication tools, not used for marketing. And then you would click send email and send those emails. So just a reminder that when you are testing this in Sandbox, emails do send. So if you do choose to send this, just make sure you're sending it to either yourself or a test account so that you're not sending your actual members emails. So that's really high level what Mango is. Again, we continue to iterate on this. So if you have feedback as you're playing around, things you want to see, feel free to pass that on to your account manager. The next feature we want to talk about is we have added the Moneris batch card updater. So this is specifically for our Moneris payment processor clients. So when this runs, we're adding it to your scheduled jobs. It will grab your card masked numbers and card expiry fields from the Moneris vault, and update them in Avocado. So there are a couple custom settings you can set to configure this. We do record if there is an error. I believe we also sent out an email communication to our Moneris clients saying this was coming. So if you have not responded, please reach out to your account manager if you didn't get that email, and we can get this set up for you. We also offer this for our eCard clients. So if you are with eCard and we're unaware of that service, we have that for you as well. We also made quite a few financial system updates with this release. So we have added support for both Odoo and NetSuite, as well as the ability to create a custom posting file. So if you are using not Odoo, not NetSuite, or not Great Plains, we do have an option to create a custom file that creates custom columns, custom headers, and whatever data you may need to get into your financial system. So again, that's something we would configure for you. We don't expect you to do that on your own, but it's something you can discuss with your account manager if you're interested in pursuing. We've also updated the custom permissions for the Avocado menu. So now we support 3 different types of permissions on the menu, 1 being off, 2 being the current levels that the majority of you have in your environment, and then 3 being a custom metadata where you can control, I think it's over 60 buttons in the Avocado menu, and whether or not a profile in your organization has access to that. So you can see this person does not have permission for the general ledger button. You do also have the option to hide the button completely or to gray it out. We're also continuing to add more buttons and more fields for this. So if you do find that there's something missing that would help your organization, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but reach out to your account manager and they can get that sorted for you. We've also added some logic for replacing existing payment methods. So similar to how before, if you deactivated a payment method, you had to replace it. You now have the option when you add a payment method to replace all your original payment schedule items. So if I have planned payments for childcare for the rest of the year, and now I want to use my MasterCard instead of my Visa, I can select that I want my Visa to be replaced by this new card that I'm adding. This does respect the Portal PSI number days to edit custom setting. So it will not impact any payment schedule items that are within that time frame that you set. Another pretty large piece of functionality we added in this release is the ability to create dependent prompts. So these are prompts that when you ask one question and get a specific response, you are then prompted to answer another question. So this currently only works with single select. You have to be able to select a specific response to trigger the next question to be asked. But again, it's something we continue to iterate on and work towards in the future. So you can see in my example, I have a prompt group of allergies. My question is, does your child carry an EpiPen? My prerequisite response is yes. I also have a no option on this prompt. And then my dependent prompt is, where is your EpiPen stored? So you can see when I'm in the portal and I'm filling out my prompt responses, if I select no, I'm able to continue on with the rest of my forms. However, if I select yes, I'm then required to fill out where my EpiPen is stored. So this works across the menu and the portal. Just giving you an example of building on that camp example we've looked at. We've also added the ability to specify cancellation reasons for programs. So similar to how we specify in the membership modal, the reason for canceling, you can now add this to your divisions. So if you want it specifically for childcare or specifically for HFA, you have that option. It's just a checkbox that you would set. These are pick list values, so you can change them. We've put a couple preloaded kind of ones that we think you would commonly use, but you're more than welcome to kind of modify those to meet your organization's needs. We do have 2 spots where you see this. So we have cancellation reason, which is used for individual cancellations, and then staff cancellation reason, which would be used in the programs and camps if you were canceling like an entire instance. So you have two different pick lists. You're more than welcome to put the same values on them. However, we did do kind of a little more organization-based ones for the staff cancellation reason. So you'll see that there as well. We've also added a new flow template to the Avocado package that is a new membership create account exception. So currently the way this is set up is when anyone creates an account and a membership on the portal, they have an account exception blocking their access and registration. This is if you needed to like validate their ID before they come into your facility. We do have the option to modify this as well. If you maybe just want a blocked access, you don't need to block registration, or you want this to be something different, you're more than welcome to change this to your heart's content. Again, we always recommend you build this out and test in Sandbox before rolling it out to your production environment. It also does do a check currently to see if that person has been a member in the past year. We've added quite a few features as well to facility bookings. So for this, we have three main tasks here. One being added the ability to ask prompts in the Avocado portal when doing facility bookings. We also added the ability to edit in the menu. Before you were just kind of able to do it at the time of creating the booking. You can now do that for any that are not completed or canceled. And then we also added just some filter logic when you're searching for bookings to make that a little easier. We've also added some updates to the programs and camps reporting. Specifically, a lot of that effort was focused on the sign-in page. So now when you print your sign-in page, instead of having one page that you need to print for Monday to Friday, you will have 5 instances that will appear on that page. So if you need to print a sign-in sheet for every day of your camp, those will be available for you to print. We did update allergies to medical cautions just so that it aligns with some of our verbiage across Avocado, as well as we did adjust the amount of optional columns you can display in the menu. You have the option to display 10. We found that if you go over 10, it kind of skews your printing, but we've given an indication now that you're approaching that 10 columns. You can see that I have 5 selected here. And then when I go to print my sign-in sheet, I can see the date of my instance specifically, as well as those fields that I've selected. So again, you do have the option to kind of customize that. If there's other fields that you think would be beneficial in the future, please let us know. We can look at pulling those in as well. We added a contact us button to the Avocado portal. So this is something you can externally link to, similar to how we have a Forms external link currently. This can be used to go to your website if you'd like, or to case management if you have that set up. And it is enabled by a custom setting. So if you don't want this on your portal, you do not have to have it. You just leave that custom setting set to false. We have 2 updates to punch passes in this release as well. So the first one being, sometimes we understand that people may still want to deduct a punch pass, even though you have program access. Some programs may still require that punch to be deducted for people who don't have your more traditional membership. So we do have the option now to toggle always deduct access uses, which basically skips over their program allowing them in and still deducts access for them as well. And we also removed the use access button once all of those remaining accesses are complete, or the punch passes in the past. So a couple additional features, a little more higher level for these because they're a little smaller. One that is in the past, but I wanted to bring everyone's attention to, is that we did optimize the portal loading in the shopping cart and the checkout. So you should be seeing faster loading times when completing your cart, when clearing your cart, and in the portal just in general. We added the GL payments due default ID to the Avocado customs page just to make it a little more visible. We also updated the program registration flow. If you frequently use price groups, you have the option now to display each price group's price level, or if you'd rather just display a range, you can do a price range as well. That's controlled by a custom setting. We also updated the portal so that when you land on a registrations page, if your home location is not part of that division, you're automatically going to default to all locations. This also works if you're deep linking in and someone's not signed in. You'll default to all. And then you do have the option to set what that location is on your calendar page. So if you know you have one branch that you kind of want to direct people to, or one location, you can set that as the default location. So that's what loads when you land on your calendar schedule page. We also updated the Avocado menu to give you the option to print a single form for custom prompt group styling. So we understand that some of you may have custom styling and don't need to print the entire roster, just need to print one child if they're coming late to camp. So you can now do that from the Avocado menu page. We also added the ability to assign a contact to a new membership that starts in the future if all the current memberships are expired and not going to renew. So if you have an expired punch pass or a punch pass that's ending, you can assign them to a punch pass that begins after that punch pass ends. Bug fix review. We have quite a few bugs that we fixed in here too. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about these. These are all obviously in the release notes, but just wanted to make you aware that there are, I think, about 20 bugs that we've fixed between this release. So those are all kind of listed out here as well. We'll make sure the slides are accessible and that you can view the recording as well. So just a further list of kind of some of those other bugs, again, all in the release notes for you to review. And then the final thing I wanted to bring to everyone's attention before we open the floor for questions, that we've made some changes to our support ticketing. So if you're not in the ticketing system all the time, you might not have noticed this, but now when we close a ticket, we are asking for additional feedback. This is anonymous. Obviously, you have the option to provide more information should you wish to, but we're just basically looking for a thumbs up, thumbs down of how you found our response as we continue to improve our processes. Anyone have any questions? I'll also take comments if no one has any questions. Thanks, Andrew. Awesome. If no one has anything, we'll happily stay on for a couple more minutes, but thank you so much for joining us. Again, we look forward to continuing to put out new releases and share new updates with the Avocado product. You too, Ella. Everyone else, have a great day.